But it takes the Holy Spirit to lead you away from all of that to the right person.
Hey, welcome to my YouTube channel where love is discussed. Don't forget to share, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.
Works with Cabo Airline. Imagine, I'm talking about way back 95, 96, a young girl communication officer for Cabo Airline Nigeria. Same school with Pastor Bimbo Oduka. Pastor Bimbo was a senior. Has mixed Brazilian, Sierra Leonean, Nigerian background. Your case don't settle. If she's walking like this, you will see someone trained to walk. I mean walk. English impeccable. Body shape amazing. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. Somebody trained in Queen's College with Pastor Bimbo. So if you watch how Pastor Bimbo walks, you watch how Pastor Bimbo composes herself, trained in the same school. Pastor Tino Asagem, I think, same school. And this girl I'm talking about was president of our own literary society in the school. My bishop looked at his arm. He said, that's a girl. He said, go bring her. I was 23, 22 or so. He said, go bring that girl. But God has helped me, so I had a little bit of fame here and there, and money was coming in. He said, go bring that girl. He said, I'm joining two of you. My mother said no. My mother said no. She said, sweetheart, there's nothing wrong with the girl, but something is telling me something is wrong with where she came from. I said, no, but my bishop says he's going to join us. That's how Bishop joined us. The very night we got home, 12 midnight, fantastic house overlooking a valley in Ogba Ikeja. Overlooking, you don't need air condition. It's a waste, just open your way. The wind, just, it's beautiful. Breathtaking view. And the next thing, sir, I noticed I started sweating. So I then put on the AC and was still sweating. I said, there's wind, there's AC, you are sweating. So in the morning, I said, okay, something just said to me, take her to the hospital, just for a checkup. And I called my bishop. I said, Bishop, Bishop, you see, may God be the one that told you to go in. So that in times of trouble, you can go back to God and say, God, you were the one that told me. May you not call on the one who can't fix what they got you into. And my bishop said, okay. He said, take her straight to my hospital. My bishop is a billionaire. So he has a private hospital in Okwebi Island. He said, take her to my hospital. So I thought he was going to pay. I love him so much. He taught me a lot. So I got to the place. They ran checks on her. While they were running checks, they discovered that her blood pressure was about 220. And the doctor was like, are you having a headache? She said, no. Are you having any pain anywhere? No, blood pressure 2 something over 1 something. 170 or whatever. No. The doctor said, even though you are looking all right, you need to be on admission. So that was how we resumed. Regular admission, blood pressure, nothing she does. Nothing, I don't let her do anything. There's a driver, we had an SUV. She doesn't do anything. I go to the market to shop. Doesn't do anything. No stress, nothing. Just wake up, enjoy your life. But blood pressure will just go. Little did I know that at the age of 18, she was actually admitted almost, in fact, considered dead at another hospital in Lagos. I did not know. I didn't know there were underlying ailments that the mother did not tell me, and the father expected the mom to tell me before he traveled. We were running 20-something tests, And the mother was aware, and the mother never told us, stop the test, this is the problem. Say, Lord, say, help me. I was running all over the place, running tests. Spend money here, spend money there. So almost every month, like 2 or 3 times, 3 weeks, 2 times, she'll spend like weekends in the hospital just to make sure they check her blood pressure, normalize the blood pressure. What is causing it? We prayed. We didn't know that there were underlying issues. Exactly when it became a year, exactly the day it became a year, she was to move from Cabo Airline and move into another airline started by the brother of Cabo, Freedom Air. She was to resume that money because that one likes her. When she was in Cabo, he was an assistant there. When he was starting his own, he decided to pull her along. She was to resume that morning. I don't know if it was the apprehension of new resumption because there was a concern that maybe how is the elder brother of this one going to take it? I don't know if that was the apprehension, but that morning just woke up at about 4 a.m. and she was gasping for breath. I'm like, what's going on? No, I was sweating. So at that moment, quickly, I called one of our pastor friends. I said, can you let the driver come? Come pick her for me. Take her straight. I just remember that morning, there's a doctor she likes. He does psychotherapy for her. And I realized that doctor was on duty that morning. So I said, okay, let them take her straight to that hospital, the private hospital. And she got there. I mean, so when you were saying, get ready to go there, as soon as they were arriving with the vehicle, that's how she fell on the ground. So I had to lift her up to that moment because I've never had that kind of experience in my life. So I lifted her up, was praying. Then we put her at the back of the car, thinking that, okay, we're trying to like resuscitate. By the time we got to the hospital, she was gone. I mean, like gone. So I didn't know what was going on until the doctor, whilst we were entering the hospital, one man, they call him Pastor Philip. That was how the man rushed down from upstairs. He rushed literally almost without a top. And he was screaming, let her go, let her go. So I'm like, what is going on? Let who go? So at that moment, the guy came. He said, I just had a vision. I just had a vision. So all of us were looking. Doctor was looking. Had a stethoscope in his hand. I was like, what's going on? You had what kind of vision? And he said, I saw that they will be bringing a woman into this place. And the Lord said, allow that woman to go so that she can free her husband. So when he spoke, I said, what kind of nonsense? What is going on here? Doc, do you? So Doc, did, and then Doc stood up. He said, sorry. He said, nothing, no pulse, nothing. So I said, what is this? So up till that moment, my consciousness hasn't been activated. The only time I became aware was when I found myself at the Ikeja mortuary. And now they were about to take our body into the mortuary. Then I'm like, what has just happened? And God has helped us in the area of prayer, miracles, and all of that. So I went on my knees. I said, this one, you will rise up today. As I knelt down by the body to pray, I just had an open vision. And I saw her going. And I saw her turn back and waved at me. And I heard the voice echoing so loud. Let her go, let her go, let her go. That's how I stood up. I called my bishop. I said, sir, this is what just happened. He said, come straight to my house. I went to his house in Okwebi. We talked about it. And straight I went to our mother's house. As God will have it, I got to the house. The father just returned from overseas trip. So as soon as I told the father, I said, I just came. I went to Pastor Mike, one of our pastors, who is still alive. He's been here. So we went there to the father's house and we told the father, we said, sorry. The mother was seated because the mother has been part of the entire process. She was always in the hospital when we're doing all the tests. So I told the father, I said, sir, sorry, I just want to let you know this what just happened right now. Sir, I have never heard that kind of response in my life. The man said, Reverend Sam, I hear you've been going to hospital, you've been taken all over the place. Didn't the mother tell you that we should have lost her at the age of 18? That they just miraculously brought her back to life? that I'm surprised that you were spending a lot on her. Then he turned to the mom. He said, you mean you didn't tell him? So I look at the mom. I said, what didn't he tell? He then took us back to the history. He said, Reverend Sam, the mother didn't tell you that there was a time we were looking for children before we had that. He said, when we were looking for children, he said, something happened. Somebody took us somewhere where they told us to go to Rita Meta Faji. I don't know the place in Lagos. But those who are Lagosians know the place. He said, there's a place called Rita Meta Faji that we're told to go there past midnight, at midnight, and to stay there and offer sacrifice. That was after we did that we had that. So that at 18, the father is one loose person, just talks. He said at 18, it's like they came to collect her back. If I had gone that day, if I had, thank God this did not happen in America. If I had gone, in my mind, God knows that I killed that day. And it's nobody, I will not kill anybody. There's one person. See, you know what it means to kill the person died, then you now kill the die. That's how angry I was. And the man said, Reverend Sam, you've done well. You've done well. This is a man, I'm just telling you, just lost your daughter. It's not like he was expecting it. I came out of that and I said to myself, I said, no. I said, I'm not marrying Nigeria again. I said, I'm not, Nigeria, I'm not done. I'm done. No. I said, I'm going to America. I said, I'm going to America. I said, my assignment is global, so I'm going to America. And I meant it. I was going to America. That was when I went to meet Pastor Bimbo to tell her what has just happened. And Pastor Bimbo held my hands and began to pray. And pray. She said, Reverend Sam, listen to what she said to me. She said, Reverend Sam, I have never had this kind of experience before, so I don't even know how to comfort you. She said, I believe that God has allowed it to happen to you so that when it happens to us, you will be able to comfort us with the comfort God gave to you. I never understood, I never knew what God was using her to say. I reminded Daddy when she passed on. The very night she passed on, I called Pastor Taiwo. Because Pastor Taiwo's office is directly opposite our office. So as soon as she made that statement, Pastor Taiwo came out. And Pastor Taiwo says, Reverend Sam, come close. And he held me. Pastor Taiwo prayed for about 25 to 35 minutes in tongues. And the next thing he kept on saying, you will be a walking wonder. You will be a walking wonder. You will pray in tongues. You will be a walking wonder. Pastor Taiwo said to me, Reverend Sam, I know you are planning to run out of Nigeria to marry abroad. She said, don't. I said, how do you know? She said, the Lord said your real wife is here. That this one was only used, listen carefully, Pastor Bimbo said this one was only used because God knows that this one is not here to last. That God used that to keep you from making a lasting decision that will have cost you pain for the rest of your life. So God used a temporal person to keep you from a lasting pain. Sorry, that's too big for you. So when she finished talking, she said, the Lord said the woman you're going to marry is here. And the Lord said, when the time comes, when you find her, let me know. She said, I will know if she's the one. And I will confirm it to you. And the Lord said, watch and see when you meet her. See what will begin to happen in your ministry.